Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we have a story from our dear sister who shares with us her life journey. In the world of music, the pursuit of success can often lead individuals down unexpected paths. For some, the desire for fame and recognition can overshadow their values and beliefs. This is exactly what happened to our dear sister, who in her quest for global success, became entangled with a dark ritual group. To get to know what really happened and understand what our sister wants to share with us, let us go and listen to this message. And don't forget to please subscribe, like and share this video so others can listen to it as well. And also hit the notification bell, so you will be notified anytime we upload videos of this nature.
First of all, let me start by saying how sorry I am for getting down this path in the first place. And that is the main reason I wanted to share this with you. You see, what began as a sincere passion for music, ultimately spiraled into a series of rituals and sacrifices that challenged my faith and identity. Born into a devout family, I was showed an early affinity for music. My parents were active members of our church, and so, I got the chance to involve myself into so many things at the early stages of my life. As early as 5 years and thereabout, I began singing at church through the encouragement of my parents and the people who were closer to us. So, by my teenage years, I had already become a local sensation, known for giving out wonderful ministration, and also one thing people knew me well for, was my powerful voice and heartfelt lyrics. At those early years, I had already started writing my own songs. Even though I wasn't good at it, I felt the need to try it. My parents as usual supported me with additions when I sing to them. Encouraged by my family and community, I aspired to share my gospel music on a larger scale. This brought about me mounting the stages in our local communities whenever there would be a crusade or gospel program going on. It didn't matter if it was my church that was organizing the program or not, all that matters was the fact that it was a gospel program. I would be allowed to go and minister whenever the churches come for me. After some years have passed, I decided to now take the gospel music seriously. And at this point, I sought out to start recording my songs. It is not easy, I must say, back then, when we started to record. It is not like now that recording studios are everywhere. And even if you get the studio, to get a good sound engineer too was an issue. But little by little we were able to start doing something. You see, despite all that I was doing and people recognizing that I had this talent and gift, I did face numerous obstacles on the journey I had taken upon myself. At the time, the music industry was saturated with competition, and breaking through as a gospel artist proved to be more challenging than I had anticipated. After years of performing at local events and church gatherings, I found myself growing increasingly frustrated with the slow pace of my career. And this made me to even abandon the idea of using music as my thing. Honestly, I even told my parents I wasn't going to go ahead with the music thing again. And they should not ask me to go out there and minister again. And I saw them being worried, but I didn't care much at this time. Because I wanted to try something else for my life. Sometimes, I will mount the pulpit in our local church and sing, but it wasn't as often as I used to do. This went on for a long time until I encountered a mysterious figure in my life named Elijah. He told me a lot of things about the industry which caught my eyes. He told me that he had connections in the music industry. Honestly, brother, he was charismatic and persuasive, presenting himself as someone who could help me achieve my dreams. This now brought back the fire in me to now get back to the drawing board and start to work again on my music career. Intrigued by his promises, I began to spend time with him. All my time with him, I never imagined him to be the person that will lead me in a wrong way. This is because he speaks highly of how there is the need to get gospel music to a point where God will always take the lead in everything that is being done in the society as a whole. I was much elated to now be on the road of me achieving my aim as a gospel musician. One thing is that, about some months of we meeting, He then told me that, to get to understand and know what goes on in the music industry, he will let me meet some group of people who do know how to push people to the higher heights of their respective careers. So, he introduced me to a clandestine group that operated in the shadows of the music industry. This group claimed to possess the knowledge and power to elevate artists to unprecedented heights. Unaware of the dark path that lay ahead of me, I was excited and believed that this was the right time for me to be heard. Sometimes it is not right to be too excited about things just on the face value. I have learned this in a way that I always feel bad about. You see, brother, the allure of fame and fortune proved too enticing for me to even sit down and think about what I was even getting myself involved with. The long and short of this whole thing is that I was drawn into their world, where rituals were performed to invoke success. It wasn't about the grace and the power of the Most High. Yes, brother, you need to see how things were done. Yet the funny and most shocking thing is that, for some reason, I didn't see it to be wrong when we started everything I was told to do. Yes, they introduced me to the rituals and all that in order to be successful in the music industry. I can tell you that, the industry as you see it, it is not like you see. There is more to this industry and the people involved than what meets the eyes. Sometimes, even the songs that we put out there are given and dictated by whatever entity you swore allegiance to. This thing, when you say it, people do not understand it. Let me start with the first ritual that I did. The first ritual I participated in was a ceremony held in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation as members of the group gathered in a circle, chanting incantations that echoed through the dimly lit space. Everywhere was dark and only the light of the candles that were used for the rituals were seen. Dressed in flowing robes, the members created an air of mystique that captivated me when I first went there. At the center of the circle stood an altar adorned with candles and symbols that represented various deities associated with success and prosperity. I can tell you that, from my experience, there are a lot of deities that are doing things. People out there may think it is the Lord that is doing it. You see, as the chanting intensified, I was instructed to offer a personal item, a cherished piece of jewelry that held sentimental value, to symbolize my commitment to the group and my willingness to sacrifice for my dreams. There were other things that I did there which is not why I wanted to talk about. Because, that was the beginning of my initiation, if I can put it that way. And as such, it wasn't of much value aside the jewelry that I gave. But then, when I started recording my songs, that was where I felt certain things were being taken away from me. But because of the ambition, I didn't think deep about it. Now when my first song was released, surprisingly, it was all over. And I came to believe and trusted everything they were telling me about becoming more successful if I go according to what they would tell me. Following her initiation into the group, my career began to take off. I started receiving offers for record deals and collaborations with established artists. However, with each success came new demands from the group. They required me to participate in increasingly elaborate rituals that involved more significant sacrifices. One such ritual involved a blood offering. Under the guise of a purification ceremony, I was led to believe that shedding my blood would enhance my artistic abilities and solidify my connection to the forces that govern success. The honest truth is that I was terrified at first, but because I was desperate for fame, I reluctantly complied, marking my skin with symbols that represented my allegiance to the group. After this, I was all over everywhere and was ministering with top musicians in the gospel music industry. I even started traveling outside the country to perform. This was a dream come true. My parents, who didn't have any idea of what I had gotten myself into, were also happy for me. And they were enjoying the proceeds of what I was doing too. To them, it was the blessings of the Lord that has brought me this far. As my popularity soared, so did the pressure to maintain my status within the group. I did find myself caught in a web of manipulation and control. The rituals became more frequent and intense, each one demanding greater sacrifice, both material and personal. This is where the unthinkable came into being. I started sleeping with them because they held the power of my success. I was doing both male and female. And even sometime, they would prefer to take me from the back. I mean the top men in this group. The ones that hold the secret keys to bring you down or up where you wanted to. These two men never slept with me in the normal way. Anytime I would be with them, they would take me from the back. And one strange thing is that, anytime I engage with them from the back, that evening, I will receive inspiration to write songs. And any song I wrote after doing that with any of them, the songs became a hit. Honestly, brother, one thing that breaks my heart right now is that, I was coerced into severing ties with friends and family who questioned my newfound lifestyle. I have come to realize that, those who genuinely cared for me, were the ones that expressed concern about my association with Elijah. But then, I dismissed their warnings, blinded by my ambition. The isolation deepened as I became more entrenched in the dark world I had chosen. As time went on, my mental and emotional state began to deteriorate. The weight of the sacrifices I made took a toll on my spirit. Sometimes I would experience vivid nightmares and felt an overwhelming sense of dread that accompanied each new ritual. Despite my rising fame, I honestly struggled with feelings of emptiness and disconnection from myself. What broke everything for me, which I really thank God for, is when one particularly harrowing ritual involved summoning spirits believed to grant artistic inspiration. We were instructed to write down our deepest fears and insecurities, which were then burned as offerings. The smoke filled the air, creating an eerie atmosphere that left me feeling haunted by what I had sacrificed. So, amidst this chaos, I experienced a moment of clarity during a live performance. As I sang a song about faith and redemption, all of a sudden while on the stage, I felt an overwhelming wave of guilt wash over me. In that moment, I realized how far I had strayed from my original purpose, which was to use my voice to uplift others and glorify God. You see, one thing that became clear for me was that juxtaposition between my message and my reality became painfully apparent. I could no longer ignore the darkness that surrounded me or the sacrifices I had made at the altar of ambition. It was a turning point that ignited a desire for redemption within my heart. You see, determined to break free from the grip of the ritual group, I sought help from a trusted mentor, a pastor who had once shown concern about me when I went to perform in his church. This man had faced similar challenges in ministry. And so, with guidance and support, I began to unravel the hold that this group had over my life. The process was fraught with difficulty. Leaving behind everything I had worked for felt like an insurmountable challenge. However, I began to reclaim my identity and reconnect with my faith. Honestly, each step toward freedom was accompanied by moments of doubt and fear, but I had to press on with newfound resolve. Rebuilding my life after escaping the clutches of darkness proved to be a long and arduous journey.
Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Indeed, I will start by saying that, life and the very essence of this precious gift is not about how well or how much money you were able to acquire. Nor it is about how influential you become in this material world. But then, it is about how much of positivity you affect people. How much love you show your fellow human being, which is the nature of the creator of this very universe. This revelation from our sister must stand as a testament to resilience and redemption. Indeed, she has emerged from the shadows of darkness stronger than ever. Let us always use whatever small influence we have to raise awareness about the dangers of sacrificing one's integrity for fame or power and money. This story is shared in hopes of inspiring others who may find themselves at a crossroads between ambition and morality. This should serve as a reminder that true success is not measured by accolades or recognition but by staying true to one's beliefs and values. When you have a deep connection with God and a commitment to uplifting others, you will find your purpose in this life, purpose beyond what fame could ever offer. As we celebrate artists who inspire us through their music, let us also remember that behind every song lies a story that may reveal both triumphs and struggles. Ultimately, it is our choices that define us, guiding us toward light or darkness in our quest for fulfillment. We are only here to warn our brothers and sisters about the ways of the evil one amongst even the children of God. It is also not to suggest that any musician out there doing his work is of the evil one. But this is to tell you to be careful because a lot is going on in this world. Let your inner intuition talk to you when you listen to some of the songs out there. Please let us hear your thoughts in the comment section. I just hope that we honestly take the important lessons from these stories to better our lives and decisions. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thought with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.